You know guys, this is gonna be a little bit of a weird video for me to make because truth be told, I don't really watch a lot of JGOD videos. I don't really interact with them. I don't think we've ever spoken or you know, shared tweets, anything like that. I think when it comes to content creators like JGOD, Exclusive Disgrace, a couple of these other people that are kind of, you know, trying to ride the line between hating and ranting on the game, but at the same time praising it, and as you'll see in today's video, accepting every single little thing Activision has to give them. I think because of the result of that, my genuine opinion is that I just don't really trust the guy. I don't really hold his opinion with very much weight because, straight up, I think he just flip-flops sides whenever it's convenient for him. And I think I'm gonna show you guys quite a bit of evidence that points to that being the case. And we're gonna get into all of that right now, but before we do, guys, I'm gonna need you to cock slap the fucking like button right now, as per usual. And please subscribe if you're new, guys. We're on the way to 60,000 subscribers. We're right around the corner, so please help out with that. And without further ado, guys, let's just get straight into this, alright? So JGOD made a video yesterday and it's titled The Make or Break Moment for Warzone, and as you can see with the whole thumbnail, you know, it says game over, it's black and white, it has the red arrow going downwards. Listen, my guy, the Scat Master knows exactly what is going on here, okay? I understand the intent behind this title and the thumbnail and everything that goes along with it, but what I'm not understanding is the fact that throughout this video, and as we'll see, there's tons of videos and tons of tweets from this guy that shows he's kind of against Call of Duty to an extent. Like, he'll call out the bullshit, and this is where I'm going to be very fair with him, is that he does pretty consistently, at least for how consistent he uploads and makes content, he brings up the problems with Call of Duty. Not all of them, but at least some of the more mainstream problems with COD he'll actually bring up, and that's something that I think is good. But what is not good is this. This is a tweet that came out from him a couple of days ago where he says, "I'll be at CODNEXT this year for Black Ops 7. See you on September 30th. And he even has a clip of this in his video where he talks about the fact that he was invited.
And I'm going to that event. I knew back in May I would be going to the event. And this is kind of a big event that I've gone to for the past 5 years or so, minus the COVID years. But besides that, I've gone to pretty much all the events. And they invite a lot of people to the events. Just getting invited to the event isn't something that necessarily sways my opinion about the game.
Now, as you guys saw there, JGOD just straight up, at least he's honest, right? Saying he's going to CODNEXT. And he mentioned something pretty interesting here, where he said something about, you know, the fact that he's going does not necessarily sway how he feels about the game. And honestly, I wish that were the case. But there's two things that are going to contradict that. The first thing is the fact that he's even going to this fucking event, and I can go on about this for hours at a time, because I think any content creator, no matter who it is, even if it were me, okay? I want you guys to hold me accountable, just in case in, you know, some fairy tale land out there, you know, in fantasy land, if I ever get invited to Call of Duty next and I go, that directly contradicts my entire purpose here on YouTube as a content creator. I know everybody thinks I'm just here to rage bait and get views and money, which is a very interesting topic once we get to talking about JGOD and his real reason for going. But as somebody who talks a lot of shit about Call of Duty, if they were to ever invite me to CODNEXT, unsubscribe from my channel. Straight up, like, do not trust a single word I say, because the moment I ever associate myself with Activision and choose to work with them, I've essentially sold out. I've sold my soul to a bunch of greedy, porky bastards that don't give a flying fuck about myself. They don't care about the community. The only thing they care about is generating hype and money for pre-orders and to get people to buy the game and cosmetics in the game and all this other type of shit that you see every other Call of Duty partner do. And the fact that JGOD is going, it just tells me he's willing to work with the fucking bad guys, alright? I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, you think Activision the bad guys? Yes, motherfucker, I do think they're the bad guys. Case in point right here, GG's.
We need to stay away from these niggas.
So the fact that he can be talking shit about Call of Duty in one instance and then at the exact same time go out to Call of Duty next and then state two things: one, that he's not paid by Activision, and number two, that him going is not going to sway his opinion. Both of those things are just utter fucking cap. I'm not sure why this needs to be stated, but even if they're not giving you money like monetary dollars and US currency, you are still being compensated by them because they're flying you out, they're paying for your flight, they're paying for your tickets, they're paying for your stay and hotel and food and all this other shit. They're allowing you to stream the game early, they're allowing you to have content early, and what is all that ultimately gonna lead up to? It's gonna lead up to some money going into your pocket. So while maybe you're not technically being compensated by them, they're essentially giving you the assist right there. And your intentions for going, we're going to expose that later on too. But the other thing that he says is that his opinion is not swaying just because he's going to this event. And I think that is just utter bullshit. I think when you take a look at this guy's content, especially around the launch times of these games, not only is he positive about the game, but he's just utterly, blatantly fucking wrong. I understand he has a lot of critical feedback for Call of Duty and Activision, but I seriously just don't think it's genuine, especially not when you have clips like this. Let me just show you this right now. This is from the Black Ops 6 beta. Alright, this is from his CODNEXT event visit or whatever the fuck he did, and just listen to what he has to say about Black Ops 6 prior to the launch of the game.
The most important part of the good section, I think, is it feels like a Treyarch Call of Duty, which is awesome. If you're a fan of Treyarch, that you're gonna love this game, I think. It genuinely feels like a Treyarch Call of Duty.
Oh my god! I got you in 4K! Just dick rotted!
Guys, I'm just gonna be straight up, man. There might not be an easier way to force praise and hype onto a Call of Duty game than to say, oh yeah, this feels like a Treyarch game. Oh yeah, this totally feels like an Infinity Ward game. It's genuinely some of the most phoned in praise I have ever heard, and it literally sounds like he's being forced to say this. I don't think this is a genuine thought, and if it was a genuine thought, then at best, JGOD, you're just fucking wrong, okay? This game does not feel like a Treyarch game, and this next clip is actually even fucking worse. Listen to what he has to say about the development of the game.
Actually feels like they had 4 years to cook on this game. It is just impressive on how much polish the game actually has.
It feels like there was actually 4 years of development. It feels like the game is actually polished, and he's impressed by it. Meanwhile, there's actual cope on the timeline, and if I'm not mistaken, Treyarch themselves are trying to promote this new idea that Black Ops 6 was not developed in 4 years, and as a matter of fact, it was actually Black Ops 7, so they rushed BO6 to be the filler game between. Guys, what the fuck am I listening to right now, man? I'm sure if JGOD ever watches this video, he's probably just gonna have the exact same cope that anybody else has when I'm critical of them. Oh, this guy's just rage baiting, oh, he's just using my name for clicks. JGOD, let me just be straight up, man. Alright, let me put the Scat Master persona away for a quick second. If you have a genuine problem with the video that I'm making and I'm using your content in here, do not ask me to remove this video. Okay, I genuinely rather you strike my fucking video and channel. And if you really want to get rid of the Scat Master, if I'm really this much of a stain on the Call of Duty community for exposing the fucking truth and talking that goddamn shit, send a strike. I already have one from Activision. These guys sent me a false copyright strike for having leaked content of BO6 before it launched, as if I would ever showcase this fucking dog shit before it actually came out. Hell no, false strike. Alright, so I already got one. I can get rid of it very easily by going to copyright school. But I'm just gonna be straight up, I'd rather fucking die twice than do that nasty shit in order to appease Call of Duty and Activision. Fuck that. So you can send me a strike, give me strike number 2, and then ask your boyfriends at Activision to send me strike number 3. Get rid of this fucking channel if it means that goddamn much to you. And if not, if you're willing to be a little bit more civil about it, the DMs are open. Tell me I'm a dog shit or tell me I'm a fucking dumbass in the DMs. I would respect that significantly more, because honestly, anything you have to say in a video, I just can't trust it, man. Because you'll have all of these videos being critical about Call of Duty, which is a good thing. I genuinely think that is the right move to make, but then at the launch of the game, you're talking about, oh yeah, this feels great, it feels like it was actually 4 years of development, it feels like a Treyarch game, like all of this phoned in bullshit. I genuinely think you're saying just to appease to a crowd that is particularly relevant towards the launch of the game. I think this guy realizes that there is a massive audience of fans and casuals that are going to click on his videos, that are going to subscribe, especially around the launch of the game, because everybody has high interest in it, obviously. And so he gives off this fake impression that he's positive about the game, but in actuality, I think this guy really dislikes the direction Call of Duty's going in, and it's evident by his post-launch content, where he's talking talking nothing but shit, which is crazy to think about because here we go in this weird Twilight Zone turn of events where this is the type of guy that calls out content creators who rage bait, right? You know, people who are hate baiting, oh my god, this guy's raging for views and clicks. Meanwhile, you not only do the same thing, but on top of that, you're going to appease a crowd of people that want to hear the positivity about Call of Duty around launch when it's high impressions time, and then you're gonna switch up, talk shit, and then before the next Call of Duty game comes out, you're gonna go to Call of Duty next, you're gonna get compensated by Activision, you're gonna associate yourself with them, and then you're probably gonna have moderately high praise about the game, and then a couple of weeks and months later, you're talking shit, as if you didn't think this from the goddamn start.
Come on, my nigga.
Look, call me a rage baiter all you want, right? Like, this is like some of the most generic fucking comments ever that I could receive. This is my response. Very easy, point blank period. At least I'm fucking consistent, all right? You will never catch me flipping sides whenever it's convenient for the community to hear so that I benefit at the end of it. That's just never gonna happen, all right? If I'm critical from the start, I'm probably gonna be critical until the very goddamn end. And unfortunately for us, here in the MW 2019 era of Call of Duties, that's just the way I fucking feel, alright? Everything prior to MW 2019, I was a genuine fan of. Like, I actually did enjoy a lot of aspects of these games. But something changed in this current era that I just cannot support. There's so much scummy shit that was exposed to me from Activision. I just cannot protect these guys. I cannot work with them. I cannot praise their products, even during high impression times where it's beneficial for my channel. And just to press on this a little bit more, this guy over here had a response to JGOD when he announced that he was going to CODNEXT. And he said, this is why they don't fix shit now. Y'all gonna show up and support no matter what. And JGOD responds with, you still not understanding that this is a marketing event. I have hundreds of videos with feedback. You would be a moron to not go and get free views for yourself.
I want to respect you, but I can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hear JGOD, Exclusive Disgrace, Dyke Dynamite, anybody else talk about people hating for free views and easy clicks. You guys are being exposed to the fucking truth right here. These are the true intents of the people that are going to CODNEXT but claim to be critical of Call of Duty. I think in some weird way, JGOD and Activision have almost become symbiotic, where if one grows, so does the other. Of course, Call of Duty and Activision is going to want to work with somebody who's going to ultimately praise the game at the most important part of the game. They don't give a flying fuck what he has to say afterwards. They're going to use him for the free hype for his entire audience that he's fucking backhanding here, and then they're going to invite him to the next one and so on and so forth, because during that launch window, you know exactly what this guy's gonna be doing. So while I can appreciate that he's critical of Call of Duty at times, especially when it should arguably be more important, at the end of the day, this guy is a huge component to why the Call of Duty cycle is always in full effect, because he is exactly what this represents. Hyping the game up before the launch. When the launch comes out, he says it's great, and then a couple of weeks and months later, he says it's dog shit, and then repeat that cycle over and over and over again. Once again, you can call me a rage baiter, say whatever the flying fuck you want. You're never gonna hear me hyping up a Call of Duty before it comes out. Not in this current era. Fuck no. JGOD, once again, if you want this video down, please strike the channel. I'd rather suck 25 cocks from the fucking back than supporting this dog shit weird agenda that you have of flip-flopping between videos and, you know, hyping the game up, praising it for false bullshit, and then talking shit, and then trying to use that as a cushion for why you're not a Call of Duty shill. Like, no. You have malintent here. I think you realize it. I think a lot of people realize it. I mean, if you look at this guy's fucking comments section, people are calling this guy out. Rightfully so. But to end this video out, JGOD, reply to me on Twitter if you need to. Talk shit on Twitter. Talk shit in the DMs. Do what you gotta do. Unless there's a way for you to prove to me and everybody else that you're not doing this with malintent, I just don't think there's a way to trust what you have to say, man, unfortunately. And it makes sense because you're working with fucking Activision, which fit that exact same fucking description. JGOD, I don't want to say it, but please shut the fuck up, and Activision, suck my balls from the fucking back. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on JGOD and his messages with Call of Duty and how he's flip-flopping sides consistently? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.
This ain't in my body.